Listen carefully, dear son. Someone has already looked at your house. He's made plans, he's made calculations, and he's thought, "This house will be mine. I'm going to take what belongs to him." He has evidence, he has reasons, he believes he can win, and, at first glance, it seems that he can. But there is something he has not considered. He doesn't know you're in my control. He does not know that I, the Lord, have already written another decision. He thinks he has power, but he doesn't realize that I am the one who changes the rules, who opens paths where there are none, who makes those who think they are in control tremble. He comments, "I have faith that God is leading me. Stay here until the end of this message, because I have something for you that will transform your life." The enemy has already decided that they will take your house, but there is one condition that can change everything. If you stay on my goal without deviating and trust me until the end, I will participate in this fight. You can feel the pressure and notice threats around you, but I ask you, who can stop me? If I go first, who will be able to stop what I do? Listen carefully. Don't be fooled. What lies ahead is not just a physical problem. He's not just a man who wants to keep your house. It's a little bigger. It is a spiritual attack on what I gave you. The enemy has seen what I gave you and wants to take it away from you. It wants to take away your spirits, make you doubt whether it is worth continuing. Comment, has the Lord prepared the best for me? Maybe you're feeling tired, sad, and wondering if it's worth it to keep fighting. But if you stay until the end of this message, something will change. I am a just God. I am the God who breaks traps. I am the God who puts an end to the decrees of failure. Before I tell you what I'm going to do, you need to understand something very important. Not only your home is at stake here, but also your confidence. The enemy wants to distract you from your goal and make you doubt me. He wants you to review the documents, the threats, the situations, and say, "It's impossible. I haven't lost everything." But you haven't lost anything at all. I am here, and there's something I want you to do now. Stay strong. God is creating opportunities in my life. If you stand firm in what I want, I will do unexpected things. The opponent thinks he has already won. Think that you will give up, that you will let yourself be carried away by fear. You should be ready to get a large sum of money no later than the next 2 days. Get ready for this unexpected gift. Because of this, you will feel an incredible amount of comfort, which will then make you feel an incredible amount of happiness throughout your body. You can show your love and gratitude by giving up to $100. You've already made your plans and organized everything to keep what's yours. But what he doesn't know is that I have the last word. You may be wondering, "Lord, how is this going to happen?" I tell you that if you trust, I will fight this battle for you. If you don't give up, I'll thwart the enemy's plans. If you do not let yourself be overcome by fear, I will perform a miracle so great that everyone will see that it was my hand that did it. But there's something you need to do now. Pay attention. When the pressure rises and it seems that there is no solution, do not make hasty decisions. Don't do things out of fear. Don't try to fix it yourself. He comments that his triumph is thanks to God. Wait for me. If you follow my intention to the end of this message, I will give you a precise address. I'll show you what to do. I'll show you an exit where there's no exit. Now, stop for a moment and imagine the person who hurt you, the one who ignored you, who laughed at your tears, who claimed that you would never recover. Do you remember her? Well, imagine that it is now right in front of you. Look and see something you never thought of. you're still standing. He thought you were done, that you weren't going to be able to recover. He had already kept you in his mind. I already thought you had lost. But now, you shine before their eyes, because I have performed a miracle in your life. I have changed your destiny. I have changed your shame in honor. I have silenced those who said that you were not going to endure. And now, the person who underestimated you in the past is watching you and asking questions. How can that be? But you know the answer. It was because you stayed on my target, because you didn't give up in fear, you didn't give up out of despair, and you didn't humble yourself when you were told that all was lost. Comment, nothing can make me change, because God is by my side. And now, look at how you are. I didn't just keep you on your feet, I helped you lift up. And this is just the beginning, because what I have planned for your life is even better. If you think you've already seen what I can do, wait until you see what I'll do next. Now pay attention, because what I'm going to tell you will show you something bigger. Those who criticized and underestimated you, those who saw your struggle and thought there were no solutions, are now shocked. They are observing something they never thought of. You are still standing strong and moving forward. They ask, how is that possible? What is going on here? How can you keep smiling? How is it that the house that was going to be destroyed is still standing? And I answer you because I am the one who is in control and decides in the end. He comments, God has already decided that I will succeed and nothing can stop him. What many will not understand, and that you did not get to say here, friend. You went through nights of crying and days when you thought you couldn't resist. You felt the pressure to grow. You endured negative comments. You saw opportunities missed. But still, you didn't give up. Lord, I trust what you have planned for me. That's why I, the Lord, got involved in your situation. When they saw you on the ground, they laughed. When they saw you in danger, they thought the end was certain. When they conspired against you, they were sure that no one could help you. But they forgot something important. I am God, and I am the one who writes your story. Now, look at what has happened. Those who ignored you in the past now have to accept the influence I have on your life. Those who criticized you today see that I am with you. And the most surprising thing? They can't comprehend it. They look for explanations, justify what happened, and try to find a reason for what has happened. But there is no logical way to understand what I have done. Because I do not act according to what men understand. I go beyond the visible. Listen carefully to what I am going to tell you. I'm not done yet. If you think you already know what I do, be prepared. Because what is coming will be even better. What I'll do next will be more impressive than you've thought. The enemy cannot affect me, because God has already decided that I am victorious. I've lifted you up, but now I'll put you on an amazing level. Do you remember that person who looked at you with disdain? Do you remember those who said you were worthless? Do you remember those who looked the other way to not offer you their help? They will see it. They will see that you are an honest person. You will see doors open where there were only obstacles before. You will see how you receive blessings that cannot be explained. They will see justice done in front of their very eyes. And more than that, you'll see that I was the one who did it. Pay attention. If I have done amazing things so far, what I have ready for the next step will completely transform your life. But there is something you should know. The best is yet to come. If you think this story has reached its peak, I tell you that it hasn't yet. I still have something important to tell you, something that will change your path. something that will confirm everything I have already told you. Therefore, stand firm. At the end of this message, I'll give you something that will change everything. Talk about resting in God's promises. Disorient the enemy with your smile. He wants to see you sad. He wants you to be on the floor, for your mouth to speak in whispers, for you to feel fear in your mind, and for you to get tired. He wants you to tell the world how complicated it is, how much it hurts, and how impossible it seems. But don't do it. Today, he looks up. Wipe away your tears. Inhale deeply and express. There's nothing damaged here. Even if the internal struggle is strong, even if the wind blows hard, and even if situations try to make you doubt, no one needs to know what you are feeling. Not because you're simulating it. It's not because you want to hide it, but because you trust me. Who trusts in me does not lose hope. Who believes in me does not let himself be carried away by fear. Who trusts me does not allow himself to be affected by words against me. So tell me now, am I okay? Say it with confidence, no matter what your eyes see. Express it firmly, even if the situation seems different. Say it with courage, because I am the one who changes history. And you should know something. Hell trembles when one of my children gets up and decides to believe. The enemy expected you to agree. He thought he had ruined you. He bet against you. But he was wrong. Why are you smiling now? Walk with confidence. You wake up energized. And, above all, you believe that I am your God and that I am always with you. And that faith, that assurance, that strength in your heart is what will open the heavens over your life. The miracle has already begun. Now, just wait, because what's coming will be even better. Because what I'm going to tell you is more than you can think. Father, should I leave everything in your hands? Did you think you'd seen it all? Did you think you already knew everything? So get ready, because I'm not done yet. I'm playing a role. Right now, I'm organizing something that will surprise everyone who didn't believe in you. The enemy prepared your fall, set traps, and tried to corner you. He used words to hurt you, situations to make you feel pressure, and thoughts to try to make you weaker. But there was something I didn't know. I am your God, and I am the one who decides the latter. Now, look at what's happening. He looks at you and doesn't understand it. You see that you are still standing. Look, despite everything, you didn't give up. And besides, he sees you smiling. Ah, that makes him uncomfortable. Because a smile of faith is like a challenge to hell. When one of my children smiles in the middle of the fight, I know something important is going to happen. So, keep smiling. Deceive the enemy. Dismantle evil plans. Show hell that your trust doesn't depend on what happens, but on me. And besides, say it now with all your might. I'm fine. Even if everything seems against you and the situation looks difficult, declare it. Because when you speak in faith, the spiritual world reacts. The enemy is afraid. The sky lights up. Angels move. And I participate with preparation. The speech bubble says that God's best is yet to come. Now, pay attention. The enemy thought he had beaten you. He believed that what he did against you would be enough to stop you. He thought despair would fill your heart. But do you know what he's seeing now? Look at someone who hasn't given up. Look at a person who stays strong, who learned to be confident, who decided not to give up. And that only means one thing. Your victory is already decided. Now pay attention to what I'm going to tell you. What I'm planning for your life will not only impress the enemy, but also you. Do you think you've already imagined the best? I tell you, What I will do will be even better. The door I am opening will be very big, and many will wonder, how did this happen? The restoration I propose will be so strong that no one can doubt that it was my action. The answer that comes will be so strong that the enemy will not be able to say anything more. And do you know the reason? Because you believed. Because you didn't give up. Because you chose to keep going, even though everything indicated that you had to stop. The speech bubble reads, God is already changing my story. Now I ask you, are you ready to see what seemed impossible come true? Because what I have prepared for you cannot be blocked. It cannot be interrupted. It cannot be taken away. What I'm going to do in your life will be so important that even those who didn't believe in you will have to admit it. God's hand is upon him. The enemy tried to take away your peace, tried to put fear in your heart, and make you think that there was no solution. But what I didn't know was that, while he was plotting against you, I was already preparing. Your big change. He thought your story would end in failure. She thought your tears meant you had failed. I believed that your days of suffering would be the end. But what he didn't know was that I even use pain to write stories. And now, look at what you have around you. Do you notice? Do you notice that something is different? It's not just an emotion. It is not a dream. It is the movement of my spirit. I'm getting the obstacles out of your way. I'm keeping those who tried to hurt you quiet. I'm breaking the bonds they tried to put on you. And most importantly, I am opening a door that no one will be able to close. Now, look at what's about to happen. Those who laughed at your suffering, pointed at you and did not believe in you, will have to see how you managed to move forward. Those who wanted you to fail will have to see your success. Those who said you wouldn't make it will have to accept that I, the Lord, am your God and care for your life. And best of all, you won't have to explain. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. You don't need to argue or try to convince, because your life will be the answer. They will see them directly. You'll see what I'll do, and all they can say will be, "It was God." Now, hold on to this promise, because what seemed to have been lost will be there again. Because what seemed that could not be done will be achieved. Because what seemed like the end will only be a new beginning. And remember, I'm not in a hurry. I'm getting better. So now, just take a deep breath and get ready. For the next chapter of your life will be written with the ink of my glory. And when you least expect it, what you didn't expect will happen. The speech bubble says, "My faith is firm, for God is faithful." Don't panic. Did you know that the phrase, "fear not," appears 366 times in the Bible? That means that there is a word from God for every day of the year, and also for leap years. That means fear should never be your reaction. So stop saying you're scared. What if it doesn't work? What if I don't succeed? Enough. Today, amend your return, because your fight is almost over. Your pain is being taken away. Your answer is on the way. So just have faith, because your best days are still ahead of you. He comments that all barriers are being removed by the power of God. In the book of Isaiah 45, God says something very strong. "I will go before you." Isaiah 45:2. That's a promise from God that He leads His people, creating paths where there is no way out and breaking down obstacles that hinder advancement. Why is it important for God to lead the way? Because there are times when, without God's direct help, our own strength is not enough. Sometimes, try as we might, the difficulties are so great and the obstacles so high that we need God's help to overcome them. If God does not guide us, our life does not progress. God, with His great wisdom and power, understands that there are times when humans can only trust Him. He advances to 1. Remove barriers. He breaks the bronze gates and breaks the iron bars. Isaiah 45:2. What seems unshakable to you, to God, is an opportunity to demonstrate His power. It seems like your request is incomplete. Please provide the text you'd like me to paraphrase and simplify. It opens paths where there is no way out. He opens doors: financial, relationship, health, and opportunities. Often, the doors we need to open are not up to us, but to God. It looks like you've only provided the number 3. Could you please provide the text you want, simplified? He guides us through the difficult paths, straightens the paths, and brings clarity where there is confusion. We are often in situations where we do not know which path to choose. But when God is at the forefront, He guides us, giving us understanding and direction. It seems that your request is missing the text you want me to paraphrase. Please provide the text, and I'll be happy to help, to give back what has been lost. When God leads, He not only opens the way, but He also brings healing. It takes you back to your original purpose when you feel confused or disoriented. When God leads us, He prepares everything for us to succeed. What you can't see, God is already doing. When God goes first, He arranges everything for your benefit. A hand that writes says, "I will not fear, for God is with me." If you are facing problems and questioning why there is no progress, remember that there are times when you must fully trust God, letting Him lead the way. When He leads, you just have to follow Him. He will open paths, remove difficulties, and take you right where He wants you to be. With Him present, victory is guaranteed. When God goes ahead, He not only makes the way easier, but He does it with a purpose. Imagine for a moment the greatness of a God who, knowing your struggles and limitations, decides to go before you to guide you. It will not only solve what is obvious, but also what you cannot see. He advances not only to win the struggles outside, but also to help you with your inner struggles. Sometimes, the biggest obstacle is not in the way, but within ourselves. Fear, doubt, insecurity, lack of faith, and the difficulty of trusting that God can do what seems impossible. And that's precisely why He says, "I will go before you." He understands that winning depends not only on what's going on around you, but also on what's going on inside you. When God goes forward, He begins to change your heart. Overcome the barriers of fear, anxiety, and uncertainty that restrict you. It takes you to a place where you not only look, but feel that the victory is already yours before it shows up in reality. This is not to say that problems will end immediately, but with God with you, you can feel reassured because He has already prepared the way for your success. Handwriting says, "God is my refuge, my strength, and my victory." He will guide you and also show you how to follow Him. It is not enough for God to give you opportunities. You also have to learn to take advantage of them. Sometimes the path can be complicated, but with Him at the helm, you can trust that as difficult as it may be, His path will take you to places you never dreamed of. Have you ever pondered God's promises to you? God has something for you that is better than what you are living right now. Their plan goes beyond what you can see. When He goes forward, He has already prepared your steps, made the necessary adjustments, and opened the doors you need to move toward the destiny He has for you. It's important to understand that even though God is leading the way, you must continue to walk with Him. We should not wait for God to solve everything. We need to move forward in faith and take the necessary actions knowing that He has already prepared the way. God will always be by your side and will never abandon you. He is always with you, helping you, but He also wants you to be confident, to take action, and to decide to continue, even when problems seem very difficult. The most incredible thing about all of this is that when God goes before you, He not only guides you, but He also does so to take care of you. The enemy tries to put obstacles in your way, but he already knows what's coming. He has already planned the fight. He has already established protection and guidance so that the arrows of evil do not reach you. Even if you are on a battlefield, if God is with you, you are safe and protected by His presence. Hold fast to His promise. God always keeps His promises. He never promises to do something and He doesn't do it. He is loyal. When He says, "I will go before you," He is making a clear and definitive commitment to His work in your life. He will complete what He has begun in you. And now, tell me, can you imagine walking with Him in front, fully trusting that everything you need is already ready? God can do anything. If He can go forward, move mountains, open iron gates, and do the impossible possible, then He can make your life better. It doesn't matter how difficult or complicated the situation may seem. God leads you to triumph. He comments that the miracle has already been decided in His life. Now, look to the future with newfound confidence. What you can't see, God is already doing. What you think is a challenge, God has already transformed into an opportunity. And what seemed lost, God is recovering. Do not be anxious about the future, for the one who guides you is the Creator of heaven and earth. Keep walking. Keep going. Don't look back. He goes before you to give you victory and show you that, with Him, the impossible can be achieved. When God goes first, He not only opens physical doors, but also spiritual doors that you didn't even know about. He moves forward to unite heaven and earth in support of His plan for you. He knows what you have in front of you and has already prepared the bases. When you feel like everything is against you, God is already doing things to help you. Sometimes He lets you go through a difficult time, but even in that, He moves on, preparing something better and greater. Struggles are real, but God's victory in your life is even more so. No matter how many times the enemy tries to discourage you, God already controls everything. Even though storms can be intense and waves threaten to carry you away, God goes ahead of you and guides you to calm waters, bringing you to safety. The Lord always cares for His children. He guides you firmly and confidently, directing your every step. Remember, He is the one who handles the wind and the storms. When you feel like you're on a tumultuous sea and don't see a solution, you must remember that He can stop the storm. It doesn't take much to act. A single word from His mouth can bring peace where there is chaos, light where there is darkness, and answers where there are doubts. When He moves forward, everything begins to fall into order. And best of all, God not only opens doors, but also prepares your heart. He understands that you cannot look to the future with a heart full of resentment, fear, or hopelessness. He understands that before He can change what's around Him, He needs to have a plan. So if He goes ahead, this means that what is coming will be good. Even if things don't seem clear now, God has already prepared your future, which is full of hope, peace, and victory. The most important thing to know is that when God goes ahead, He never leaves you alone along the way. Even in difficulties, He is at your side, supporting you. He never says, "Now go alone, I've done my part." No, He guides you and is always with you, making sure you don't fall. He holds your hand, no matter how difficult things are. Camino, he comments that he has confidence in the Lord. That's why, even in difficult times, it's important to be strong and stand your ground. God goes forward, and when He does, everything falls into place. What once seemed impossible is beginning to be possible. The doors open, and the fear goes away. You begin to see things differently and to understand with a new perspective. This strengthens you to keep going, trusting that God is faithful and will finish what you have started. God goes forth not only to restore what has been lost, but it also helps you reach positions of honor and success that you never thought you could have. He guides you to prosper not only materially, but also spiritually, emotionally, and socially. It is preparing you to be a light in the darkness and to be the solution that others need to live. Don't doubt the great plan He has for your life. The Lord who goes before you is the same one who created heaven and earth. It is the God who has power over all things. When He leads you, it doesn't matter what happens around you. He has already prepared everything for your well-being. So move forward with faith and confidence, because in the end, you will look back and see how it has guided you, protected you, and made you more than overcomer. God goes forward, and with Him, all things are possible. When you understand that God is coming forward, something deep happens in you. Fear disappears. It's not that the difficulties disappear immediately, but when you have it in front of you, you walk with a confidence that overcomes the circumstances. Fear, anxiety, and worry begin to fade because you know He's already won for you. Trust in God is the key that opens impossible doors. As you move along this path, you realize that victory is near, even if things seem difficult. Many times, the enemy will try to weaken your faith. He will put up obstacles, use words of defeat, and try to make you doubt God's plan. But in those moments, remember that God goes forward, and when He goes forward, nothing can stop His plans. No word of defeat, no obstacle, no storm can. Stopping what He has for your life is impossible, because God's power is stronger than any opposition. He controls everything, and most incredibly, as you follow God, you begin to notice the extraordinary in your life. The doors that were closed begin to open, and what seemed impossible becomes possible. God not only goes before you to protect and guide you, but also to surprise you. You'll see God act in ways you never thought of. In the most difficult situations, He is with you. They will be transformed into opportunities to show your greatness every step you take. Even if it seems small or not noticeable, I am guiding you. I created you with a great purpose. And even if life's difficulties try to bring you down, know that I support you. I'm the one who goes ahead of you, clearing the way, opening doors that seem closed, and making sure everything fits into my perfect plan for you. When fear tries to invade your heart, remember my words. Do not fear, because I am. I am with you at all times and in every situation. I am the one who makes the impossible possible, who turns sadness into joy and anguish into peace. What seems like an obstacle, I transform into an opportunity to show my power in your life. I am not a God who leaves you alone. I am the God who takes your hand and guides you on the path of life. There are times when you feel weak, without strength, as if you can't continue. But it is in those moments that my power shows itself strongest in your weakness. I am your strength, your rock. Immovable, no matter how many times you fall or feel like you've failed, I will always be by your side to pick you up, renew your strength, and help you get back on your feet once again. My purpose in your life will not fail. You will not be defeated, because I am the one who sustains you, and gives you the ability to achieve more than you thought possible. Now you may be wondering, but God, what is coming? How do I know if everything will be okay? I tell you, trust me. You don't need to see all the way ahead. Just trust my steps and move forward in faith. Safety, I'm here to help you overcome obstacles and make the roads easier. I'm removing what's holding you back so you can achieve what I have planned for you. Nothing is impossible for those who believe in me. The best is yet to come. So don't let the current circumstances fool you into thinking that all is lost. I am the God who makes the impossible possible. When you stand firm in my purpose and follow my will for your life, doors open and difficulties become opportunities. The lessons and victories and the testimonies of my transforming power. You will soon see that everything you have lived through was necessary to fulfill my eternal plan. So, stand your ground. Don't give up now. Don't look back or worry about tomorrow. I am in control of every detail of your life, and what I have started in you, I will finish. Trust me with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. I am your Lord, your shepherd, the one who guides you at every step and takes you to a better place, closer to my will. In the end, you'll look back and understand that every challenge, every tear, and every struggle had a purpose. You will see the beauty of what I have done in your life, and you will recognize with gratitude that my love for you never failed. I have always been and will always be your rock, your strength, your hope. What I have prepared for you is bigger than you can imagine. When it all happens, you will know that it was I who did it, and so my glory will be revealed in you and through you. So walk with renewed confidence and hope, in peace, knowing that I am God. Almighty, I come before you, and I love you with an everlasting love. Nothing can separate us. Trust and keep going, because the victory is assured, and the best is yet to come. Lord Almighty God, at this time, I approach you with a heart full of gratitude and trust. Thank you for your powerful hands that always hold me, for your faithfulness that never fails, and for your unconditional love that surrounds me. I know that you are by my side every step, and so I can walk boldly, knowing that I am not alone. Dear Father, I ask you to continue to guide me and open the paths that seem blocked, removing obstacles and clearing the way for me. Lord, you are my refuge and my fortress, my rock in difficult times. When struggles arise and fear tries to take hold of me, help me to remember that you are in control of everything, and that, with your presence, I can face any storm. I thank you for every miracle you have performed in my life, for every time you picked me up when I fell. I praise you for giving me strength when I was weak. I'm weak for giving me hope when all seemed lost. Father, I know that you have already prepared my future, and that is why I trust you. I know you have the best for me, and I choose to follow you, knowing that you are already working in my favor. Lord, help me to stand firm in your purpose for my life. May my faith not waver in the face of difficulties, but may it remain faithful to you, knowing that you will sustain me at all times. I declare that I will not be afraid, because I know that you are ahead of me, breaking down barriers and doing the impossible. Actually, no matter what happens, I trust that the best is yet to come, because you are a God who never fails, the one who transforms hardships into blessings. I also ask you, Lord, to guide every step of my life, that I may hear your voice clearly and follow your instructions with obedience and trust. Light my way, give me discernment to make good decisions and wisdom to face the challenges I face. Do not allow me to drift away from your purpose, but strengthen me to trust you always. Circumstance, I place my worries and anxieties in your hands, knowing that in doing so you will give me the peace that surpasses all understanding. I want to rest in you, trusting that you are my refuge and my peace. Help me to live each day with gratitude, to trust you even when the answers don't come right away, and to patiently await your plan in my life. Father, I pray for my family and for everyone I love. I place them in your hands, asking for your protection, provision, and that they too may feel your love. Your love and presence are with me at every moment, and I hope that we can move forward together in faith, trusting that you guide and protect us. Lord, thank you for giving me the strength to keep going. I believe that, with your powerful hands guiding me, I can overcome any obstacle. I have confidence in you, Lord, and I know that you will do something extraordinary in my life. I praise you, adore you, and give myself completely to your plans in the name of Jesus, my Savior and Lord. Gold. Amen.